My name is Sarnam Mark Greenberg. I'm a spiritual healer in Mount Shasta, California. And today I'm going to really give some tips and pointers for empaths, especially about clearing. Many people who are empathic, as I am, try to shield. Um, and it's almost always ineffective or only partially effective. In my experience, that's because a shield, when you energetically create a shield, what is that? It's a fear-based structure. It's something that is you're trying to protect yourself from something you're afraid of, and so by its nature, it's at a lower frequency, and when you're surrounding yourself with that, other low frequency structures tend to attach to it. And that's that feeling of being a sponge or having other people's energy stuck to you or absorbing it, or, even to the point where it's hard to discern what feelings are yours and what belong to other people. And that's just being empathic to emotions. There are other things that come in from other people, thoughts, you know, uh, right. It could be chatter in your head that, you didn't have until you were hanging out with a certain person, but it continues after that person is gone. And so sometimes that's just you empathically picking up on that person's energy. Sometimes there's something attached to that person, another etheric entity that is actually the source of the chatter that you picked up on. The easiest way to identify those is in that space between waking and sleeping, especially when you're falling asleep at night and you're getting into a sleepy state and you start having kind of light dreams or little visions. That's when I check the most. So that's when you have some access to your unconscious mind, right? There's the veil is thinning between conscious and unconscious. That's when I really check to see if there's something in my mind, not just in my field, but in my mind that doesn't feel like it belongs to me or isn't something I want in there. And then I call energy into clearing it. And this is the most important part. If you're empathic, you have to learn how to clear. No amount of shielding is going to protect you from everything. I'm very experienced, and I still pick up things from friends and people or I'm in conversation with and walking with, anything like that. You can filter, you can increase your filter, which is basically about bringing more energy, circulating more energy in your toroidal field. You can increase your filter, but even when you do that, you have to be able to clear the things that come into your body and mind. And that's, in my opinion, becoming sort of an evolved empath, where you're evolving into the state where now you are a transmuter of energy. And part of your service is transmuting the energies that you absorb from other people. So, it's not that hard to do that. It's just that we're trained out of it in childhood. But what you need to do really is recreate, reconnect with something that is your birthright, your innate connection with the divine source. The easiest way to do that, and I outline it in more detail in other videos, is to center in your heart, really drop into your heart, get out of the thoughts of your mind, especially if there's a lot of chatter. The heart is not thinking, the heart is just feeling, okay? So drop in there, put your awareness there, think about something that generates a feeling of love or joy or gratitude, something that's in a higher frequency of human emotion. Those are the basic ones: joy, gratitude, love. And from that place, visualize a beam of light. So you've got like a ball of light, this joy or this gratitude in your heart. Send a beam of light from that place up to the crown. Let it swirl around a little bit at the crown chakra to create an opening. Because oftentimes the thoughts and the chatter, especially fear-based thoughts, have created a cloud over the crown chakra, and it feels completely occluded. But the higher frequency of joy and gratitude or love will start to dissolve that. Higher frequencies dissolve lower frequency structures. So you bring that light up there, create a little opening. You don't have to do anything but bring it up there, and the higher frequency by its nature will create an opening. Doesn't have to be big, like an inch and a half, a little opening. And then you can send that light right through from your heart, right through that opening, right through the roof, all the way up to the sun. If you're having a doubt about it, go stand right out under the sun, okay? The sun has a visible presence, a physical presence. You can feel it, you can see it, you can be sure what you're connecting to, so you have no doubt, okay? The sun is, in our world, a radiant representative of that divine light, okay? It's our local representative, so it's an easy way to connect to the divine light. There are other ways. You could connect, in different religious traditions. There are many other ways, but this is just an obvious, easy way that anyone can use, okay? You just connect from your heart to the heart of the sun, connect to the sun as a conscious living being, and then open to receive the sun's response. Because just as when you send love to a friend, the friend will respond. The sun is just like that. A friend will respond, but it's a very big and powerful friend. And because the sun is a channel of that divine light, it's going to give you that feeling that you're also a radiant channel or radiant expression of that divine light. And then, you can bring that light in, not only to energize your entire auric field. Now, that's the whole field around you at about arm's length. The light will come in through your spine, out through your root chakra, and circulate around your whole field. Again, that will increase your filter. But also you can bring that light wherever you need it. For example, into your gut, where you're absorbing the emotions. You can bring this higher frequency of transformative light into those areas where you need to burn up or transmute the energy that you've absorbed from other people. Another thing you can do is open up that grounding cord to the earth through the root chakra. That's usually not as obvious for most people as making this connection with the sun. But if you're able to do that and get a clear cord or connection, again, from your heart to the heart of the earth, which is the very center, the core of the earth, then you can also draw up energy from the earth to dissolve those energies. And in addition, you can send those energies down that grounding cord for the earth to absorb. Those are two techniques. So I'm just giving you a few simple strategies you can use, because it's very challenging being an empath. It does not feel like a blessing or a gift at first, because you're like a sponge absorbing all this energy. But when you learn to transmute it, that's when you see what your gift is. Your real gift is that evolved state of the empath, becoming a transmuter in the field. Then you're doing a service not just for yourself, but really for the whole morphogenic field of humanity, because you're clearing all the energy that you're encountering. And that's what I do. That's really what I do. And, I do it very specifically for people. And so if you need more help, please contact me at my website, which is saranam.us. I've got a lot of videos there, and, I can give you a free consultation, more help if you need it. Okay. All right. So that's my short version, clearing for empaths. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.